everybody, and welcome to All Creatures Animal Hospital puppy class. My name is Gabby, and I'm one of the veterinary assistants here at All Creatures Animal Hospital. Today's topic, we're going to be going over winter safety and kind of just holiday safety. We touched on this a little bit when I did the Halloween puppy talk a couple months ago, but I just figured it would be a good thing to bring up again with the holidays around the corner here. So we'll go over some stuff just to look out for to make the holidays safe for you and your fur baby. So again, we're just going to go over some winter holiday safety. So the biggest thing, of course, I love this article that I found on the AVMA, which I did attach the link at the bottom of this page. But they just talk about different winter toxins, so just making sure that we're keeping food up. So especially with the holidays, you know, we have lots of food out, doing a lot of cooking, so making sure that, you know, our pets are sticking to their food and not people food. We don't want them to have any, you know, upset stomachs. They can get pancreatitis from having really fatty foods. So the best thing to do is if you want to share a holiday treat with your pet, you know, maybe figure out if there's a good treat that you can make or buy that's formulated just for them. So whether you go to the store, they have a bunch of different cookies that are out there that you can get for them and give them specifically during this time. There's a lot of different recipes that you can go online and get for dog treats. Or even cat treats. So there's a lot of different things that you can do instead of giving them a little bit of your food off your plate, because that's not always the best thing for these guys. Another one is chocolate. So we've talked about this before, so just making sure that chocolate is not accessible, especially having our stockings, some of them dangling, and I know my pets get very curious, so make sure that those chocolates and things like that are up and not accessible to these guys. You know, these are toxic to dogs and cats. Oops, sorry. And then the other thing is just other sweets and baked goods. So, you know, there are a lot of different, whether they're brownies, which obviously have chocolate, but other sweeteners in them, baklava, different, you know, kinds of treats that we have out. We need to make sure that, you know, those are out of reach too, because a lot of these different candies, chewing gums, or treats that are made with xylitol, which is super toxic, are in these products. So just making sure those are up, as well as the table scraps. So we talked about, or I mentioned briefly about pancreatitis is a big thing with fatty foods, which, you know, includes a hospital stay for these guys. Onions, raisins, grapes, those are all the things that these guys cannot have. So just be really mindful, make sure things aren't out where they can get to, especially with us being in the house more, and not necessarily going out for a lot of the holiday events that we typically have with COVID this year. Just making sure that these guys are not getting into things that they are not supposed to. So this is just a great list of things, just as a reminder to make sure is up and in a safe place. Another thing is big with the decorations, so making sure Christmas trees are in a safe spot. They can tip over if pets are climbing in them, especially our cats. Puppies maybe trying to pull on the different ornaments, so making sure that the tree is in a safe, stable area where they cannot fall over or get pushed over, so nobody gets hurt. Also making sure that none of our pets are chewing on the lights, you know, which can cause a, you know, be a hazard as well as far as electrocution. So making sure that's something that's not available for these guys. Water additives, if you have a real tree, making sure that they're not getting under the tree and drinking the water out of there, or if, you know, you're adding any kind of soda or something to help keep the longevity of the tree, making sure that these guys aren't getting into that. So that's another thing to just be mindful of. As well as ornaments. If there's any broken ornaments, they can cause injuries if they're eating them in any way, shape, or form, or stepping on them. So making sure that if an ornament is dropped, or if, you know, there are any low to the ground, that, you know, your baby is not getting a hold of those. So maybe moving them up, you know, and kind of leaving the lower half of the tree kind of bare to make sure that, especially if you have new babies in the household, this is their first time experiencing a Christmas tree with all the exciting toys that are hanging off of there, also known as the ornaments, making sure that they can't get into that. Tinsel is another one, so just making sure that they're not consuming any of that. We talked about the electrical light, so making sure that there's no cords available for them to chew on, especially for our puppies that are in the teething phase of wanting to chew on everything. And some of these festive plants like poinsettias are toxic, so making sure that those aren't available for any of the babies to chew on when the plants are out for decoration. Candles are another one that are attractive to pets, so making sure that you don't leave a candle lit with the animal by themselves unattended, so that they don't get hurt and don't cause any other issues in regards to that. So I love this little infographic that Nationwide has, and it just talks about the pet hazards and just little things to remind you, that having pet insurance is always a good thing, because you just never know how quick and sneaky these guys are getting into things they're not supposed to, which can obviously get super expensive if you have to make an emergency room visit. So I highly suggest getting pet insurance if you haven't thought about it as a good Christmas gift for your fur baby. Whether it's Nationwide, Trupanion is another great insurance company that we recommend, but it just kind of goes over roughly, the different costs of having certain things treated with these guys that, can get into stuff during the holidays. So I just kind of like this as just a picture reference. And then also just a reminder too, with New Year's right around the corner, making sure you have firework safety for your babies, providing them a quiet place to be, keeping your pet indoors. I feel that this year, there's going to be a lot of at-home fireworks, so it may be a lot noisier at home than it's been before, especially with us doing a lot more celebrations at home versus at, different locations. So, depending on how your pup does or how they did, or cat did during, the 4th of July with the fireworks, there are medications that we could prescribe to help relax them during that time, so it's not as stressful. So that's something you can give us a call, and if we need to see your pet and then prescribe medication, we can definitely do so. But just making sure you keep them indoors, provide a quiet place, give them the distractions, toys, treats, soothing music, so you can do toys such as Kongs, and just to kind of keep them busy so they're focused on that versus hearing all the loud fireworks outside. Another good one is, making sure you walk your dog earlier in the day, so maybe, before the fireworks start, so that you're not trying to walk them outside at the same time that all the fireworks are going off and people are outside and noisy. That can be a big distraction and stress your pet out more. And making sure that your baby is microchipped and you have them registered and your contact information is up to date as well. So that's a big thing that, gets kind of forgotten, is updating microchip information. So if your pet is chipped, it's always good to just make sure you're taking a look at your online registration and making sure your phone number, address, all of that is up to date in case anybody does happen to slip out. That's always a good thing to do. But I just kind of wanted to give these little reminders for everybody to just have a safe and happy holiday with your fur babies and your family, and for everybody to stay healthy and happy. And just kind of wanted to go through these things because I know, especially my little kitties, are always quick to want to get into all the things they're not supposed to. So especially if you have a new baby in the house, it's always good to just have a little reminder to keep things up in the craziness of the holidays. But I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend, and you can always give us a call if you do have any other questions or concerns, or something that's maybe not even addressed in this video, that a question you've come up with. But just give us a call at the clinic. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great holiday, and thank you for joining